Welcome back to Oulton Park for round 4 of the 2010 Speed Series. Warren Hughes in car 45, Team WFR leading the field around behind the safety car, ready for the rolling start. 1.7 seconds quicker than Pt2 in qualifying on road 2. The number 1 RLR Motorsport car and its sister car starts alongside. A 3-hour race then coming up. The cars charge for the line, the red lights go out and they charge towards Old Hall Corner for the first time here. Team WFR dominant in qualifying. Can they convert that into the race lead? Just about is the answer to the question, but Rob Garofol in the RLR number 1 car had a very good start as well. He challenged for the lead early on, and down to 4th place has gone Simon Dolan in the Pt2 car. So from 2nd down to 4th for the championship leaders. At the back of the field there, that is Sean Mellors in the number 19 AEL Electronic Sourcing Radical. They've had 3 second places in class. They're looking for the first class win as over Hilltop and down towards the Knickerbrook chicane for the first time come the leading group. There in the number 2 car with the white helmet, that is James Rigby, his first race of 2010, and he's one of the 2 RLR cars that have snuck past Simon Dolan. Had some rain before the race started, so the track is damp and a little bit slippy, but there is a dry line there, and most of the speed cars opting to run on slick tyres. Into Lodge Corner for the first time, Warren Hughes leads, Rob Garofol 2nd, James Rigby 3rd, but Simon Dolan on the attack, leading the championship by just 2 points from the race leaders, who are 2nd in the championship after their DNF at Snetterton last time out. Exiting Old Hall Corner then. First real flying lap this for Warren Hughes. Down through the avenue into Cascades. Rob Garofol there, the former Caterham Superlight racer and last year's Speed Series champion in 2nd position, hanging on to him. James Rigby in the mix in 3rd place as well. There is Sean Mellors in the 1500cc Radical SR3, the team 2nd in last year's Radical Clubman's Cup and the 2nd in this race in terms of the Class C runners, because there is the leader, Graham Hill, in the WSC Motorsport Radical Pro Sport, leading Class C for the bike engine category. There is the overall race leader though, Warren Hughes, just beginning to edge away now from Rob Garofol. I wouldn't say he's 2 seconds a lap quicker like he was in qualifying though. And there is James Rigby, who made his debut in the Speed Series with Atkins Motorsport last year. But on the tail of him, Simon Dolan, after a slightly average start, starting to come back into the fray now. Long way to go, of course, so there's no point throwing it off the road in the first couple of laps. See the circuit undulates there on the way between the last 2 main corners of the lap, between Druids and Lodge Corner. A little glance at the inside there for Simon Dolan. Pt2, very experienced team, running Porsche racing and in the Le Mans series in the past. And there is the number 34 Norma UK of Jean-Louis Rion with the lighter but less powerful Graham Hill Radical all over the back of him. Side by side they head now towards Old Hall Corner. 2 very different cars. The 2-litre CN class category car just about keeps its nose in front, but Jean-Louis Rion here with all sorts of pressure from a very experienced racer, Graham Hill. Normally races that car with Rod Stead, but he's racing alone today, so a lot of work to do for Graham Hill. They'll have a 90-minute race, the Class C cars, but a 3-hour race for the main category here. Leader beginning to pull away. There's this battle for 3rd place to watch out for though. Number 2, James Rigby, has been a race winner in Club Formula Ford. It's got Simon Dolan, who came to racing relatively late, but under the tutelage of the Drivers' Club, and Sam Hancock has become very quick indeed over the last couple of seasons. And here's the battle between Jean-Louis Rion and the black car, the Radical of Graham Hill. That's the battle for 5th place, and the Radical much quicker through the chicane there, but he can't find a way through. The damp conditions helping to level the playing field somewhat. It is a dry line, but certain corners, certain parts of the circuit are still a little bit twitchy, a little bit damp, and that means that Jean-Louis Rion can't lay the power down, the extra power that he's got, quite as easily. These CN 2-litre sports prototypes are capable in the A-class of 220 kilometres an hour. There's this battle for 3rd place then. James Rigby finished 5th with Atkins Motorsport at Brands Hatch in 2009 on his debut in the Speed Series. Back for his first crack, first time in the Ligier, and he's doing a very good job. And there is the Ligier of number 45, Team WFR. Warren Hughes absolutely flying along once again. Jody Firth will take over the wheel of that car a little bit later on. There is Rigby, 3rd place. He's also raced in Ginettas and in Sports 2000, so he's got some sports car racing experience. Nothing at quite this level. And here's the battle for 5th place, and again side by side over Hilltop. Graham Hill looking to the outside now. It's going to be a right, left, right flick through the chicane. Can't make his way through there. Jean-Louis Rion doing some defensive driving under the tutelage, as he has been for the last couple of seasons now, of Nick Padmore, who's a very experienced sports car and historic racer and single-seater racer. It's Simon Dolan in 4th place. The Jonasport team 2 wins and a second from their last 3 races. And up now into 5th place has come Graham Hill. So we didn't see it, but Graham has managed to at last find his way past Jean-Louis Rion. And he continues to lead Class C, but he's also up into the top 5 overall now. And very quickly, look, pulling away from Jean-Louis. Here's the race leader. Team WFR, Warren Hughes, the man from Newcastle upon Tyne with a huge wealth of experience. 6 times he's raced at Le Mans. He was the Pt2 class winner back in 2005 as well. He's pulling away from the 2nd place car of Rob Garofol and from this very close battle for 3rd place. Simon Dolan now beginning to get closer and close, has a little nibble up the inside there as they begin to head up Clay Hill. So that battle getting closer. The race leader stretching away though. Look, he's now 6 or 7 seconds clear of Rob Garofol, as only now coming into the final corner at Lodge, down through Deerleap and over the start-finish line he will go. And there in 3rd place on his own is James Rigby. Now what has happened to Simon Dolan? Last time we saw them, they were side by side, and Simon has disappeared from 3rd place. So the championship leaders have had a problem. They've got a big problem. Look at that, the car has been off big style. The left rear is hanging off. It's got suspension damage. That's an understatement. The car absolutely trashed, the rear wing hanging off. Simon Dolan's managed somehow to get it back. It looks like he's had it off probably at Druid's corner. He's somehow scraping and scratching it back to the pit lane. But that's the championship leaders then with a big problem. Will they be able to continue the race? Long way to go. Rob Garofol then, the number 1 car, on his own in 2nd place now. Driver that finished 3rd in the 2008 VW UK Series, last year's champion. And there is Graham Hill, who's really pulling away now. He's up to 4th place, of course, overall, because there is Simon Dolan looking absolutely distraught. And the team just figuring out whether or not they can get him back out. Well, he's staying in the car, but that looks like the sign to say they're going to go out, I'm afraid. So the Ligier, the championship leaders, are out of the race. And that is going to hand the advantage, surely, to this man, Warren Hughes. Team WFR, only 2 points behind in the championship. And the man that's racing in the FIA GT1 Championship in 2010 and doing a very good job in that. He's leading the race here, and in for an early stop, that's Jean-Louis Rion. So the car clearly not performing as it should. The Norma UK has not been in too many races this year. Was pretty competitive at Brands Hatch, but had a DNF there. And in now for its scheduled stop is the Class C car of AEL Electronic Sourcing. There's Gary Ramsdale about to take over from Shaw Mellors, the team with 3 years of radical experience behind them. And there's Rob Garofol running on his own in 2nd place now, not able to hang on to Warren Hughes, but quicker than his teammate James Rigby in the RLR Motorsport car. That particular car, the best place of 4th so far this year, and that was last time out at Snetterton. Also had a 6th, or a couple of 6th places at Silverstone. The Norma's gone back out, albeit a couple of laps down, and so too has the AEL Radical. Let's get an update from Stint 1 driver, Shaw Mellors.
It's a lot better than it was this morning. We had a lot of problems this morning with front end grip, bouncing around on the bumps, and the rear end stepping out on us. So we made quite a lot of changes to it over the break, and it's better, definitely better than it was. Still a bit to go, but it's better.
The rain has begun to thunder down here at Oulton Park, smack bang in the middle of the driver changeovers. The AEL Radical has already made its change. Gary Ramsdale struggling for grip though, still on the slick tyres. The Norma's interchanged tyres, and the race leaders are going to come back in luck. A little bit unlucky there, they were early to pit, so they're having to make an extra stop. And teams like RLR, well, it's worked out a little bit better for them because they're coming in for their regular stop and changing tyres at the same time. So it's been an extra stop now for Team WFR. Off come the Avon slicks, and on go the wet weather tyres. Will they be able to keep the lead here? Jody Firth barely having done a couple of laps before the rain started to come down. Barry Gates goes out for RLR Motorsport, looking for their 3rd consecutive podium. Jody wants to get out too. Well, the whiteboard is being held aloft over the pit straight because through comes the black number 72 Radical of Graham Hill as WSC Motorsport complete their 90-minute stint, and that's the 2nd Class C victory for Graham. Well, despite losing much of their advantage via the safety car, a couple of extra pit stops, 1 to change tyres, 1 because Jody Firth was having gear selection problems. Team WFR have romped away once again, continuing to lead the way. RLR Motorsport, Barry Gates there in 2nd place. Of some comfort to him will be the fact that Warren Hughes, who drives the Team WFR, who lead this race, is going to be partnering both him and Rob Garofol when the team makes its Le Mans Series debut at the Hungaroring a few weeks after this race. And there's Christophe Burrick, the Belgian driver, in 3rd place. Excellent first stint by James Rigby. and Christoph looking for his first ever podium. On his way to it. Fourth place is Nick Padmore. He's on fire. He's as quick as the race leaders, but unfortunately for him, all sorts of electronic problems for that car, and he's a number of laps down. Jody Firth then coming into Lodge Corner for the final time. Team WFR are going to pick up the championship lead once again. It's going to be their third victory in the 2010 Speed Series. Comfortable stuff for him in the end. The track drying late on. They stayed out on wet tyres. One or two scares, but they've been absolutely dominant in this race. It's Warren Hughes and Jody Firth's first season in the Speed Series, but you wouldn't think it to look at the results. They win by over a minute from the number 1 RLR Motorsport car of Gates and Garofol. Rigby and Berwick take third place, and the Norma UK of Padmore and Rion is fourth. After 4 rounds, 5 races, Team WFR lead the championship standings by 5 points now from Jota Sport. The Woodcock brothers were absent this weekend, but they stay third, and RLR Motorsport move up to 4th place on 28 points. Only 5 points between the top 2 in the championship. Still 2 races to go at Silverstone for the final rounds of the Speed Series. We'll see you there.